Hello everybody and welcome to our second game of the first semi-final series, World Championship 2019. And after just having won his first game in spectacular style, currently 1-0 in the series, playing as the Soviets, it is Noggano.
And he'll be matching up against the Dutch destroyer, VonAsten, representing Oberkommando West.
That's right. Pretty good matchup, actually, in terms of factions. Really enjoy watching Soviets and OKW play. There's tons of things that can happen here, to be honest. Now, both players have gone straight in with commander picks. I see that so often in the tournament at the moment. It used to be this thing where you don't pick your commander until you see kind of what your opponent's build is going to be, and then you try to counter it. Well, actually, one of the themes, I think, of this year is that you go in with a strategy and you play that strategy well.
Definitely. I don't think we ever saw commanders locked in this quick in previous 1v1 tournaments. Everyone seems to know what they want, got their preferred strategy, and just going for it. And I like VonAsten's pick here. He's picked the old grand defensive K-Pens doctrine. And this gives you the Panzer Fusiliers who come, well, one of them's just come onto the battlefield, and these have anti-tank grenades straight off the bat, don't they? So they can help you out against that glorious M3 clown car.
VonAsten's put a couple of preparations in place. We just saw a shoe mine was placed this area. And actually the scout car might take this bait from the start. If VonAsten retreats here, there'll be, I think, a good reason for that scout car to chase down the Stern Pioneers. But yeah, early game, it's a bit like what we saw in the last game with the WC51. Noggano just trying to be as annoying here as possible before the Volksgrenadiers get access to those Faust. There's the flame pop from the engineers in the scout car, and that makes them even better against the fleshy infantry of the Volksgrenadiers.
I know, it's an early game melting machine when you've got flamers inside your clown car. So much mobility early game.
It's a bad place to stand and flame negative cover. These units will be taking a bit more damage. See Noggano very sensibly trying to get into a better position where he can start to unleash the flamethrower and burn these units out of cover. But that hasn't worked. It's now going to be a 3-on-1 engagement. Incendiary grenade popped by the Volksgrenadiers, going to force back Noggano's penal battalions right from the start. And this is already looking better for VonAsten.
Yeah, definitely. It's forced off Noggano. The HP on all of his squads, if you see at the top left-hand side of your screen, you can just see he's desperately in need of healing, but he goes for a third penal troop instead. It just wants that map control, just wants to get some of the territory back and munitions under control again. Yeah,
it's actually really important not to let OKW or Axis in general get hold of that early fuel, because they will be able to counter the Allied advantage perhaps in the light vehicles that comes in. And actually, it's going to force healing. I think that's the big thing. It's going to force the spend of healing perhaps a little bit earlier than Noggano would want it. Else he's going to be fighting with some lower health squads, and will probably drop more models quickly.
Yeah, and one thing to note as well with VonAsten, his healing predicament as well. I think if he goes mechanized, like which he has, his healing's a bit of an issue as well. He's got to spend munitions every time he wants to heal up his squads as OKW. So that's another thing to look out for as well, is who's managing their infantry better, who's avoiding that extra damage unnecessarily.
Absolutely. It's a good game. I guess when you're VonAsten right now and you perhaps had the lead in at the early game, you're not too worried about the extra munitions.
No.
But
like a millionaire on holiday.
Not even going to chase cover there, perhaps fearing satchel or...
Oh,
that was the mine. It was obviously intended for the scout car to come back. I think it's unfortunate that went down the penal battalion.
One model is all you need. Just about keeps that penal alive. But yeah, didn't see the mine, or didn't sweep it before. He has got his second engineers out, has Noggano, so gets swiftly sweeping in.
Let's have a look. You can see Noggano here. He's managed to catch the Stern Pioneers in a bad position. He's trying to push the units around with the scout car. Flame on the retreat. And even just taking down one model would be great here. That's a really nice play, really good pickup. And at the same time, he's managed to cut off VonAsten from his high fuel resource point on the right-hand side. And suddenly, when we just saw VonAsten right down the center of the map, outside Noggano's base, Noggano's just turned it around.
He's flip reversed it. He's in trouble now suddenly. And Noggano, I think, is going to perhaps have to go for these little baby AT guns for the Soviets. As you can see on the top right, the Luke's Panzer II is being built for VonAsten. This is danger signs for Noggano.
Yeah, Noggano, I think, let's have a quick look at his teching at the moment. He's definitely going to need something. See where these engineers back. Might be building tier 3. Might be going for something out pretty quickly. He has been planting mines. We just saw that. A bit of a counter. He's obviously seen that VonAsten has started to do that.
It's costing manpower every time to capture any territory all over the map. One mine usually takes 2 models. I think that's the algorithm. And yes, wow,
That is,
HP across
that is a Terminator squad with little to no health. They managed to take off four models of the Panzer Fusiliers. That is an incredible engagement for Noggano.
Took more hits than Google and Bing there and still was surviving for the Rodina.
Yeah, I was looking at that, I was thinking, what is he doing? Is he like actually sent the squad in by accident? This is nice. We just saw the Minesweepers pop on the Stern Pioneers as the Panzer II Lukes comes in, so there is that protection stopping the Panzer IIs from getting any engine damage. The Panzer II Lukes has a huge window in the field right now. There's literally nothing stopping this unit from causing chaos. VonAsten's got to use this, make good use of this window now to get control of the resource points, get control of the VPs as well, because there's not much attention being paid to VPs right now.
Yeah, and if I was Noggano, I'd be slightly worried, because if there's any map made for the OKW, it's probably Kolodny. It's so good for cut-off play, and again, hitting that cut-off, killing all the resources pretty much for Noggano. Only 10 fuel a minute income.
The PTRS was forced on the penal battalions. I really like this, actually. I think this goes very well in favor of VonAsten, because the penal battalions now do not have that anti-infantry damage output. And the Panzer Fusiliers and Volksgrenadiers for the OKW are going to be a lot stronger, able to push a lot more of the field now.
That's smart play from VonAsten. He's not, letting this good event of cutting off your opponent get to his head. That was an early retreat of the squad, because it's a long way from home to get back. So I like that from VonAsten. That's good considered play there.
We should surely see the scout car go down here. I don't know if the Lukes is chasing, but
it's taking after the engineers. It just doesn't want to die.
He's not confident because of the M42 AT gun. What is the scout car doing here? This is ballsy.
Very, very indeed. But Veterancy 2 on the engineers. They can't even fix that though. Down goes the M3 for Noggano. Good pickup for VonAsten.
Yeah, that was unnecessary, actually.
Yeah.
Very unnecessary.
Either defiant or just a bit dumb.
VonAsten is kind of seen this. He just lost a couple of models there to the mine that was planted. He's going to replant it in the same place.
Mining the old mine. Nice.
I really like that. There's 2 really smart things that I've seen happen with mines over the course of Company Heroes. One, which is of course planting the mine in the same place. The other one I think was from Jove in 2017, where he would detect a mine and plant his own on top of it.
Ooh.
Doubling.
What even happens there?
You don't want to know what happens when that happens.
Double baboom.
Oh yeah. A very smart play.
Can you still do a demo on top of a mine? That's still somewhere in the background, maybe for Noggano if he gets desperate, or at least the good old demolition charges behind buildings. You jump in and think it's all nice and cozy, and bang, suddenly spotlight.
There's a lot of cool things you can do in Company of Heroes. VonAsten's doing one of them now. He's identified. He's got a bit of a lead in terms of resources and tech on the field. He's not going to go for that classic OKW Luke Puma. He's doubled up on the Lukes. It is 2 times Panzer II, and it's going to be chaos.
He's bringing that Dutch confidence to this game. He just thinks he can basically wipe Noggano off the field within 15 minutes.
Oh, this is beautiful. The gunner got taken down before he could get that first spray off on the shock troops, and that's going to allow the MG to be recaptured. And he's going to push off a squad of Volksgrenadiers. Things starting to look up a little bit, but here come the 2 Panzer IIs, and they're going to chase down this Soviet retreating infantry force.
They're like the raptors from Jurassic Park, Yeah. Clever girl. Coming straight in to wipe all these squads. That is one concentrated blob of retreat at the moment. But the little baby AT guns that could, holding the line.
Absolutely. The other thing as well, just having the threat of an engineer unit with the Minesweeper symbol, really important, because it gives the impression that there are mines, and if you don't have your Stern Pioneer with the Minesweepers there, you're not going to push with 2 Panzer II Lukes. It's too much to gamble.
It's almost like a Poker-esque giveaway, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, sweeper? Oh, best be careful. Man.
It is absolute psychology with that decision.
One baby AT gun goes down. Recruited by the engineers there, so not too much for loss for Noggano. Wow, this back and forth. Oh, and the Lukes goes down.
Oh,
I think there's an attack ground from I don't know, Sputnik or somewhere.
Do you know what? I didn't look at that. I didn't think there was any line of sight, but
I don't think anyone would have seen that one coming. Though that was from downtown. 3-pointer for that baby AT gun right there.
Was it the mine that was there? Actually, I think we can check with the.
Oh, could have been.
We can check. There's no kills on the AT guns.
Yeah.
It was the mine that was planted by Noggano. That is, the importance of mines, really. When you get the pickups like that.
Satellite AT gun shot, which from another planet. But yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Just risky stuff though. Not having those Sternfires sweeping around, keeping that. Suddenly that double Luke's ballsy play is not looking too.
Yeah, I mean,
VonAsten.
Any lead I think that VonAsten had is looking a little bit diminished after that. It's important to say Noggano has not lost total control during this game.
Yeah.
For people that played Company of Heroes 1, moving to Company of Heroes 2, there was this emphasis in Company of Heroes 1 on the fuel points. They were like high resource. Actually, in Company of Heroes 2, strategic points give you both fuel and munitions, and actually it's better to capture 2 strategic points. Noggano has had good control. He's had a good income coming in. You've not seen disparity in the resource income because he's just not lost that map control. He's not worried when those big resource points go down. Some bad positioning here from VonAsten with the setup of the MG34. Does not want to lose another squad of those.
Really good dispersion though with the grenade damage. That was quite lucky for the MG crew there of VonAsten's. But it comes to like a crunch decision time now, doesn't it? 13 to 16 minutes. Do you go for that medium tank or do you do the mega? The mega, right? This is it. Big boy,
right now
he's
going for the KV2. He's like not seeing anything else, but
doesn't even have. I think due to the end of the call-in meta with this latest patch, he has to still get a tier 4 if I'm correct. Yeah, for the Soviets. So at least he will have needing that. Yeah, it's a lot of manpower to invest in. Brilliant player here though from the one remaining Lukes. It's poking from a distance. That's where VonAsten needs to keep it, I think.
VonAsten, I think, is a little bit trapped here. He's trying to avoid the shocks. The penal battalions get a good opportunity to retreat. He's got to retreat through a lot of flames on low health. And the shock troops at close range just tearing through. Medium cover now. More models drop. Stern Pioneers coming in, trying to mitigate some of the damage and draw the fire. And I think that is successful.
But it was like a credit default swap with squads there almost, because the Lukes just nipped around the side, took out that penal PTRS. I think he might pick it up on another penal and just be like, you know what?
Yeah, absolutely.
You replaced their job, get on with it.
Or he could not.
Oh, no. He wants that anti-infantry. Oh, he's got 2 baby AT guns. They're all right. If only they could like Power Ranger style morph together into a Popper's gun. Late game.
Archon.
Yep.
Into a real AT gun.
Yeah.
With abilities. No, it's not fair. It is a very good AT gun, actually. And as shown, just crazy hits now on an anti-infantry firing mode, which is...
forcing the retreat of the Volks. Good enough. They do the job. Russian Soviet engineering. Beautiful. Oh, you know what? When he picked up that MG, I've just remembered. It's a shock. Squads that don't try and flank that MG.
If there's any unit you want protecting that machine gun, it's shock troops.
That's savage.
Satchel charge there on the green cover. It's well noticed by VonAsten, who's going to avoid it. Just looking at the VPs again, really, like VonAsten hasn't had much control of the VPs in these games. Even when he's had full map territory, it's not been a priority of his. I think he's just been going for the resources. He wants to get something out big. Here we're seeing Noggano go for his first tech towards the late game vehicle. We don't know what it's going to be yet.
An army T-70s. Who knows?
That'd be amazing. Do we see the cheeky grenade here?
Ooh, good smoke though, usage. Yeah, they did get the nade off. Not quite helping hands clip-esque, but still went for it though. You gotta roll the dice, you gotta go for those. Knowing the exact retreat path, so it's very difficult in this game.
So the Panzer Fusiliers here, they're going to want to waste time because they do not want the shock troops to get close to the tier 4 and start unloading shots on that. I think actually Noggano, if he gets up close to that, has a good opportunity to take down a lot of health in that. He's actually going for the Panzer Fusilier wipe, and he gets it. Now the shock troops are going on the tier 4. Does not want to have this taken down. It would be huge. He loses it. That is such a step back for VonAsten.
No, he had it in the. He had this game in the grasp of his hands, but now, oof.
That's it. It's going to be playback over. It was so tense. He had such a good opportunity there, but it is
shock tubes. Oh well.
Yep.
Still.
Well, GG. 2-0 to Noggano.
Achtung, Angriffstruppe ist unterwegs. Ziel erkannt. Abbruchzone markiert.
Hello everybody, we are back after our second game of the semi-finals, and what looked to be... we thought we were going to get 1-1. We thought VonAsten looking really strong here.
OKW Kolodny, he had all the things in his favour, but I think just got too carried away. He was like, hang on a minute, I'm slapping Noggano's forces all over the place there.
Yeah.
Kept going for that cutoff instead of the VPs, which was a good point you brought up, because he never really consolidated the VP lead. Double Lukes. Went for it. You can't mock him for not
it's
going all in, but
it's a really tough choice, and especially when your opponent is planting mines and you know that, and you've only got the one Stern Pioneer, so double Lukes and you're trying to spread out is hard. You're going to encounter problems somewhere along the lines, you know.
It's such a high propensity to get caught out by the mines and the baby AT guns there, but well played from Noggano. Kept his cool again. Looked like he was in all sorts of reeling and flying backwards towards his base with a mass retreats at times, but never lost his composure, got back on the horse and taking down a Schwer with shock tubes. Yeah.
That's one of the things. Like,
gotta hurt.
Even in the semi-finals, when you have Noggano, I mean, he's cleared a lot of this tournament very well. In the quarterfinals against the Sildor 3-0, very quick. He is so practiced, and it's worth pointing out that with Noggano, he hasn't had the opportunity to join a lot of the big previous events. When they've been live events, he hasn't been able to travel, he hasn't been able to kind of get onto that. This might be his first.
We've let him out the cage, and now he's just...
I say first, it's not his first, but I mean, like, it's first in a while that he can just be like, I've won the big one. And you can just see he has practiced so hard and he's playing so well that it's a pleasure to watch that.
On the balance of things, was it good play or was it Omega throw? I don't know. a bit of both. But game 3 gives the chance for VonAsten to, come back and show what he's worth in this. He's already got to the semi-finals. This is further than, a lot of the top players have ever got. We see our homegrown Helping Hands has been knocked out. Von Ivan, the NA, the last hope of NA. So he's got very far in this. He just needs to, I think, not let his emotions rule his head as much and just, go back to the basics a bit. Get that kind of meta train going and go with what he knows best. And
do you think he's going to switch faction, or do you think he's going to...
I think he would want allies.
It was for Noggano.
Oh, for Noggano. Oh, yeah.
Because he's played great.
To be fair, he's not using this USF or bust kind of strat that everyone else is doing. He's winning as Soviets, which Loveness was doing. So I think, no, for Noggano, I think he quite likes his OKW. He would set him up.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be an exciting series. Can VonAsten pull this back? He's 2-0 down in a best of 5, and that's tough to come back from. He's got to win 3 games in a row, but he is someone that can do it. Give him some credit. If anyone can, I'm pretty sure VonAsten can. So, guys, don't go anywhere. We are going to be switching back again. Ed, I'll see you very shortly. And,
cheers.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
unterwegs.